the Lakers are a proud franchise, a proud organization, and they have had to live with LeBron gets to pick the coach. LeBron makes you draft his son. You do everything for LeBron, and now they can say we don't have to necessarily do that because we have Luka Dončić and we have to be beholden to a new superstar.
What happens when a 26-year-old walks into one of the most powerful franchises in basketball and takes control before his first season's even over? In Los Angeles, that's not a what if, it's Luka Dončić's reality. And the way it happened might be the boldest, riskiest power shift the Lakers have made in decades. It all started with a trade that didn't just make headlines, it sent shockwaves through the NBA. The Lakers shipped out Anthony Davis, Max Christie, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and draft picks, and somehow landed Luka Dončić, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris. On paper, Dallas looked like the team protecting themselves from losing Luka for nothing. In reality, the Lakers pulled off one of the most lopsided trades of the decade. The pitch to the Mavericks was simple but brutal. Luka's about to be a free agent. You want to gamble he stays? Or take the safe route and get value now? Nico Harrison bought it. The Mavs bit. And just like that, the Lakers got a 26-year-old MVP caliber guard without giving up their entire future. At the time, it felt like a heist. Now, we're starting to see it was much more than that. This wasn't just about getting Luka, it was about giving him the power to shape the franchise. 6 months after stepping into Los Angeles, Luka Dončić didn't just re-sign, he redefined the balance of power inside the Lakers front office. The deal was big, 3 years, $165 million, with a player option for 2028, but the length of that contract is the part that turned heads. 3 years isn't a forever home in NBA terms. It's a ticking clock. It's Luka telling the Lakers, I'm in, but you have a deadline to prove this works. That kind of short-term commitment changes everything. It puts pressure on the organization in ways even LeBron's arrival didn't. With Luka, there's no, let's slowly build for the future. There's no margin for error. Every trade, every signing, every piece of the roster has to move toward one goal, winning a championship now. And Luka didn't waste any time making that clear. Within days of signing, he was spotted having a private dinner with GM Rob Pelinka and head coach JJ Redick. No agents, no PR cameras, just 3 people talking basketball and, as later leaks revealed, Luka laying out exactly what he expected. I don't want to wait to win, he reportedly told them. I've had a taste of the finals. I'm going back. Whatever it takes, do it now. Those words carried weight, because Luka's not the type to bluff, especially when the front office knows his signature came with a built-in escape hatch. If they disappoint him, he can walk. And that possibility is enough to keep every decision-maker in Los Angeles on edge. From that moment, the Lakers' agenda shifted. The extension wasn't just about locking up a superstar, it was about handing him influence most players spend a decade earning. In a single meeting, Luka went from franchise centerpiece to franchise architect. The scariest part for the rest of the league, the Lakers didn't fight it, they embraced it, and just like that, the countdown began. If there was any doubt that the Lakers had turned the page, it disappeared the day of Luka Dončić's extension press conference. LeBron James, arguably the most influential Laker since Kobe, was nowhere to be found. No courtside appearance, no congratulatory post on social media, no subtle like on Instagram. For a player who's built a career on controlling the narrative, the silence was deafening. It's easy to brush that off as scheduling, but behind the scenes, people close to the team say LeBron's absence wasn't accidental, it was a statement, and it wasn't about the money Luka just got. It was about what that contract really meant. Because for the first time since 2018, the Lakers aren't taking their marching orders from LeBron. For years, he's been the engine behind almost every major roster conversation. Want Russell Westbrook? Done. Kyrie Irving? Let's explore it. Buddy Hield? Make the call. But after the Westbrook experiment imploded, burning through chemistry, assets, and patience, Rob Pelinka and the front office quietly started ignoring LeBron's wish list. Every big swing he pitched was met with a no. That was the old rulebook, until Luka walked in. 6 months into his Lakers career, Luka sits down for one private dinner with Pelinka and head coach JJ Redick. One conversation, no media leaks beforehand, and when the night is over, the front office is greenlighting roster changes in line with Luka's vision. From LeBron's perspective, that has to sting. He spent years sending subtle messages, cryptic tweets, passive-aggressive interviews, public compliments for players he wanted the Lakers to chase. Sometimes he even enlisted Rich Paul to stir the pot through the media. But none of it moved the needle. And now, Luka shows up, says, "I don't want to wait to win," and gets instant action. The power shift isn't just about who gets the last word in a meeting, it's about who the Lakers believe in for their future. LeBron's 40, chasing one more title before the clock runs out. Luka's 26, an MVP-level talent who could anchor the franchise for the next decade. From a business standpoint, the choice is obvious. From a pride standpoint, it's humiliating. The result? A quiet but very real divide in the locker room. On one side, the old guard still loyal to LeBron's leadership. On the other, a rising core gravitating toward Luka's vision. It's not open conflict yet, but the shift in energy is obvious to anyone paying attention. And if the Lakers don't manage that balance, it could turn into the kind of behind-the-scenes friction that derails even the most talented rosters. If you think this is just about Luka's talent, you're missing the bigger picture. The moment he landed in Los Angeles, Luka didn't just show up, he showed up different. Gone was the slightly bulky, sometimes sluggish player critics loved to nitpick in Dallas. The Luka that stepped into Lakers training camp was leaner, sharper, and visibly more explosive. His conditioning photos hit social media like wildfire, arms defined, frame tighter, and a look in his eyes that screamed, "I'm not here to blend in, I'm here to take over." And this wasn't some off-season PR stunt. Players noticed the change immediately. Practices were crisper, film sessions ran longer. Luka wasn't just absorbing the Lakers system, he was tweaking it, questioning it, shaping it to fit his vision. It's one thing for a superstar to demand a win-now approach. It's another to back it up with action. Luka started pushing for specific teammates, guys he trusted to execute under pressure. Marcus Smart for his grit and defense, Jake LaRavia for spacing and shooting, DeAndre Ayton for size and rim protection. These weren't random additions, they were calculated moves to fill exactly the gaps Luka saw on the floor. Teammates talk about how quickly he's become a presence in the locker room. He'll pull a rookie aside after practice, break down film on an iPad, and walk them through exactly how he wants them to react in certain plays. Veterans? He'll challenge them directly in huddles if they miss a rotation. This is rare. Usually, when a new star joins a team, there's a settling in period, months of quiet observation before they speak up. Luka skipped that phase entirely. He walked in like a CEO taking over a struggling company, made changes immediately, and left no doubt about who's calling the shots. And the scary part? The Lakers are listening every single time. It's why his leadership shift isn't just impressive, it's dangerous. Because when one voice gets that much weight, the stakes of every decision multiply. If his vision works, they could be raising banners. If it doesn't, the fallout could be catastrophic. Luka's arrival didn't just change the Lakers' on-court game plan, it rewrote their entire financial strategy. For years, the Lakers have danced on the edge of the luxury tax, throwing money at short-term fixes and hoping LeBron's presence would mask the gaps. But with Luka on a short extension and the clock ticking, Rob Pelinka and the front office have shifted to something far more dangerous: weaponizing cap space. By the summer of 2026-27, the Lakers are projected to have up to $60 million in clean space. That's not just let's sign a star money, it's leverage. In the NBA, max cap space is like holding the last piece of candy in a kindergarten class. Everyone notices. Here's how they plan to use it. They call up small market teams with superstars who are nearing free agency and say, "Trade him to us now, or we'll just sign him next summer and you'll get nothing." Huh? It's brutal, it's borderline predatory, and it's exactly how the Lakers landed Shaq in 1996, how they stole Anthony Davis from New Orleans, and now how they plan to give Luka the co-star of his choice. The names being whispered? They're not role players. We're talking Giannis Antetokounmpo if Milwaukee stalls on an extension, Nikola Jokic if Denver's window closes faster than expected. And yes, technically even Steph Curry hits the market that summer, though that's a wild long shot. Out of all of them, two names matter most: Giannis and Jokic. Giannis because he's been dropping subtle hints about his championship clock ticking. Jokic because, let's be honest, he and Luka have a bond no other superstar pairing in the league could replicate. Both from the Balkans. Both fluent in Serbian. Both built on a basketball-first, fame-second mentality. Now imagine this. 2027 rolls around, the Bucks hesitate with Giannis, or Denver faces injury trouble. The Lakers pick up the phone, Luka sits in on the pitch, and suddenly the most unstoppable duo in basketball is wearing purple and gold. This isn't fantasy. This is the plan. And the scary part? The league knows it. Every GM with a superstar on an expiring deal is looking at Los Angeles and thinking, oh no, not again. But here's the catch. This plan only works if the Lakers keep Luka happy long enough to pull it off. And that's where the pressure becomes suffocating. Every trade deadline, every free agency, every playoff series, it all counts now. Because Luka's not here to wait for some 5-year rebuild. He's here to win immediately. And the Lakers just built the war chest to make that happen. On paper, the Lakers have never been in a better position. A 26-year-old MVP candidate in his prime, a front office finally aligned with its superstar, a mountain of cap space and trade assets that could tilt the balance of the league. It sounds like the perfect recipe for another Lakers dynasty. But here's the uncomfortable truth. This could blow up just as fast as it came together. All it takes is one wrong co-star, one trade that doesn't click, one playoff exit that shatters trust. Luka's extension is short by design. He's given the Lakers a window, not a lifetime. And if that window closes without a ring, the same man who rebuilt them in 6 months could walk away just as quickly. Then there's the LeBron factor. The king may be on the back nine of his career, but his shadow still stretches across every corner of the franchise. If he stays for another season, the tension of sharing the spotlight and control could turn the locker room into a pressure cooker. If he leaves, the Lakers lose a global icon whose presence alone sells tickets, jerseys, and primetime television slot. And the NBA has seen this story before. A team bets the future on one superstar's vision, loads up on moves, and the chemistry just never clicks. What happens then? The cap space disappears, the picks are gone, and the star leaves. It's a fast track from future dynasty to cautionary tale. Right now, the Lakers are balanced on a knife's edge. If they land the right co-star for Luka, someone like Giannis or Jokic, this could be the start of a run that rewrites NBA history. But if the gamble fails, this era might be remembered not for banners, but for what could have been. And the scariest part? Luka's not waiting. He's driving this thing at full speed, brake lines cut.
The critics are waiting. The fans are watching. And somewhere in a Dallas front office, there are executives who think they already know the ending. But maybe they don't, because if the work Luka's put in this summer translates to the court, we could be about to witness the kind of redemption story that turns critics into believers and players into legends. So I'll ask you, is this the year Luka Dončić takes over Los Angeles and silences everyone who ever doubted him? Or will this season prove Dallas right? Drop your prediction in the comments.